In this video, we are going to report the name of all students who are enrolled in departments that no longer exist. Hello, this is Jagan from Grow with Data. I am posting this video to share my knowledge in SQL with you. If this assists you in your interview preparation anyways, I'll be happy. Welcome to the 36th video of our Advanced SQL 50 interview question series. We have different topics to cover and we are now starting with our first questions on subqueries. This video will be tagged in Advanced SQL 50 questions playlist, and the code we discuss in this video will be uploaded to the GitHub. The link for the GitHub page will be in the video description part. You will see the data set and you can talk about the question in detail. So we are given two tables. One is the department, another one is the student. So what happens is this department is the primary table for the departments, but the front end they use some other old data set which brings in all the eliminated departments to the front end. So students use the front end and they registered for that department. Now the admin team wants to know who are all the students who enrolled in the invalid department. So they ask us to pull a report. Let's create this table. So if you see this data set, we have 1, 7 and 13. These are three valid departments. So if you see this, so this student has enrolled in a valid department 1, 1 and 1. Next one is 7. So 7, 7. Then 13, right? So out of all this, these 4 students, they haven't they enrolled in the invalid departments, right? So 2 enrolled in 14, which is not here, and 77 is not here, 74 and 33. So all 4 departments are not in this department list. So this is what we have to report. So if we see this output, so we have to say 2, 3, 4, 7. This 4 students has to be informed that they have registered for a wrong department and they have to change it. Okay, so how to get this? Whenever you have a question like this, basically what we'll do is we see which one is the primary table, like which is the core data, and then which one can be used as a secondary table. So here we want to know all the students and then whether or not they registered in a department. So students table is going to be the primary and the departments table is going to be the secondary. So we say select from the primary table student yes, and so left join the departments table dments. So departments table, we just copy it. Okay, so here when you connect this, the students table, you got the ID, name and department ID. The departments table, you got ID and name. So this ID and the department ID are the joining points. So in d dot ID, the department table, it's equal to in students table is the department ID. If I want to get the student's name, yes dot ID, yes dot name, and in department d dot name as department name. If I run this, it was ID, not only. So if you see this, Alice, Bob, Janice, they have a valid department. But if you see John, Jasim, Steve, and Diana, they got null department. That means they got the invalid departments. So how will I get it? Say where the d dot name is null. If I run this, I get only those students who enrolled in the invalid department. What happens if I use and? We do and, everything will be null because it will go check for the ID, the department ID matches with both the tables, and d dot name is null. So in D, the department table, nothing is null, right? Everything is having valid. So it says, okay, this condition is wrong, so you just put null value. So you have to be sure whether to use where condition or and condition, right? If it's an optional one, if the value exists, then you use that in the and condition. If it's a must have, then you use the where condition. So now we got the student ID and the student name. So this is one basic way of doing it. There is one another way, which is we call it as a subquery. So this one is a left join part, but if I say get me this information, not the department name. So ID and name from students where the department ID, the student.department ID, not in select ID from the departments table. So what will do, the subquery will bring all the IDs from the departments table, and then we are checking the students table's department ID is not in that whole list of departments. If that is the case, you bring me the student's ID and the student's name. When I run this, I get the same result, 2347, who are missing part of it. So if you see this first one, you use a left join to make sure the students is the primary table. If the department exists, then bring it, and if it not exist, then that's what we need, and we filter those out. The second option, you first get all the IDs from the department and make sure the student table's department ID is not in that list. If it's not in the list of departments, that means it's the invalid department. So these are the two main options. So what is the difference between the left join and the subquery part, and what are the pros and cons, so that we can decide which one to use, right? So if we take the left join part, the pro is in some database where the indices are well structured, right? In Oracle, most of the time, we can say the index is the one of the key things, right? So the left join might be faster as it was leveraging the index scanning and the optimization part, right? So that is the advantage of the left join. The con is if the department table is large, then the join operation can be expensive in terms of time and memory. Okay? So if a left join has to go through all the tables, so it takes more time and to get more memory space. So when we use a left join, so when you want to create a select statement where you get the data from the students table, a primary table, as well as some columns from the department table. So if you exist, bring those columns, right? If that is the scenario, then better you go for the left join, because the in class, right? Here, the advantage is it's a straightforward SQL. You just get select star from the students, and there is a one condition, student ID not in, right? So it's simple to write a subquery. But the con is if the subquery returns a large data set, if the department is like a huge, but right, then it becomes inefficient as it might involve scanning through many items for each row. So if you get one student's department ID, just to go through the whole table scan to make sure those department IDs not in the department part of it. That's the con. So it's going more workload to the database. So when you use the in class, so when the subquery is simple, if the department is like having 2 or 3 rows, right? So in that scenario, you can use the in class. And if you want to have only the data from the students table, you don't want to have additional data from the departments table, right? So in that scenario, you can use the in class. If you want data from the departments table, then you go for the left join. So you can see both the differences and see which one you prefer for your use case, right? So if you want to see this code, then it will be posted in the GitHub. So this video will be in the advanced SQL 50 questions playlist. So every video will have a description part which got the GitHub link in it. You go here, you have GitHub link which will take you to the code base. So this is the 34th video. Now we are talking about the 36th video. So 36th video, you got the create statement of both the tables, and I can put in the expected result, and then the approaches we have, the left join as well as the in class. If you want to join the WhatsApp channel, then there is a link here. It will take you to the WhatsApp channel, and I will be posting the short video before the actual video long video is go live. So it will be interesting to see that sneak peek before the actual video shows up. So hope you like this video, and thanks for watching.